Remember the story of Pinocchio, and every time he told a lie, his nose got a bit bigger? Let's talk about lying and what it does to energy and what it does to relationships. If any of you out there are saying, there goes my throat chakra, I don't lie, I never lie. That's probably not true. There have been situations where you've lied to, even for good intent, to protect someone's feelings, to perhaps avoid a hard conversation, etc. But one of the biggest things you can do for your energy and your connections and your relationship and opening pathways is to tell the truth. Lying does exactly that. It affects your throat chakras, it affects your energetic space. And when you are talking to another person, once you decide and make the conscious choice to lie, you risk the possibility of jeopardizing that connection. And unfortunately, depending on the lie and the nature of the lie, it may not be repairable. Most of us can feel if someone's lying, particularly if they're someone that we know well. And it's important, if they are lying, to have that conversation about why they feel the need to lie. Be open about what in the connection makes you feel like it doesn't have the strength, stability, or foundation to have honest conversations. If someone's lying to you, it can look like them being sweaty, fidgety, their pupils could dilate, or they could get even bigger. See, the screen just did that all of its own accord. You can see them actually look away or not look at you directly. They can sometimes avoid direct verbal, physical conversation to communicate the lie because it's easier to do in text or email, etc. There's different cues you can pick up. So what do you need to do with lying energy? If someone is lying to you and you know that they're lying, how do you actually approach? I think you approach that by simply and calmly and with compassion pointing it out. Pointing out that in your opinion, energetically and based on evidence, you feel this is a lie and you want to know why they felt they needed to do that in this connection and why they could not be open and honest. That type of conversation, instead of looking at blame, which is what we tend to do when it comes to lying, and we tend to go to the negative, and we tend to go name calling, and we tend to start distrust, is actually really giving some context to why the lie occurred in the first place. Understanding the importance of fleshing out why a lie exists is important to determine your decision about the future of that relationship. Every situation is different. Every connection is different. And lying, by the nature of itself, jeopardizes all relationships and connections. So it's important to be as honest as you can in a loving, compassionate, and kind way. And know that if someone has lied to you today, really reflect on why you think they might have done that, and then have the conversation with them about why you value the truth and why you want to know the truth and how much you value the connection, and that's why you want to have this conversation. Of course, I'm going to add a disclaimer. If the lie is big and tragic and has any effect that is devastating to you financially, physically, or emotionally, then you have to decide whether you continue full stop. But if there is an opportunity for you to flesh out the conversation about why the lie existed, energetically you have the possibility of changing it. But going forward, remember, lying is part of human nature. Sometimes we do it to protect, sometimes we do it for the wrong reasons. Only you can decide what the signs, symbols, and evidence and energy is that you're picking up. Know that it's important to really establish why the lying exists for you to make future decisions about any future connections you have.